Hello, here is a picture of me when I was a kid. I used to play football when I was a kid. I used to wear a baggy red shirt when I was a kid. I used to have a fruit bowl haircut when I was a kid. Hello and welcome to Simple English, where you learn English. I am your teacher, my name is Callum Hems. Let's get started. Someone has sent me the question, what is the difference between the two sentences given below? I played and I used to play. So today I'm going to have a look at what is the difference between the past simple structure I played and the used to structure I used to play. First, let's look at the past simple structure I played. So we use the past simple here for three different reasons. Firstly, we use it for a specific event. So we can say, I played guitar in my high school talent show. So the specific event here is high school talent show. And that's why we need the past simple. I played guitar in my high school talent show. The second reason we use past simple is to specify how long we did an action for. So for example, I played football with a team for 7 years. So here we have a length of time for 7 years. And that's why we use the past simple. Again, I played football with a team for 7 years. The third reason we can use past simple here is because of an adverb of frequency. If we include an adverb of frequency in the sentence, we can use the past simple. For example, I frequently played video games as a teenager. So we have the adverb of frequency, in this case, frequently. And that's why we can use the past simple. I frequently played video games as a teenager. Now let's have a look at the grammar structure used to. So used to is used for repeated actions in the past which don't happen now in the present. For example, I used to ski, but now I snowboard. So there's also two categories in which we can divide used to, and this will be a state or a habit. So in the case of a habit, here is an example sentence. I used to play football every Sunday. Playing football is clearly an action, a habit. We understand from the grammar used to that the speaker no longer does not play football every Sunday anymore. That habit has stopped, but it existed in the past. Here is the sentence again. I used to play football every Sunday. And the second category we can look at is that of a state. For example, live can be considered a state. So we can say, I used to live in Italy. Another thing that can be considered a state is a characteristic or a personality trait. For example, I used to be shy as a child. Here we understand that the speaker is no longer shy. Something changed, but he used to be shy as a child. Now that you guys know a little bit of information about the past simple form and used to, let's practice. Here we have a test. I'm going to give you 5 sentences, but I'm going to leave a blank where you should fit a word. Here we go. Number 1. I in a coffee shop when I first met my girlfriend. I in a coffee shop when I first met my girlfriend. Number 2. I through Europe for a year before I started university. I through Europe for a year before I started university. Number 3. We often to the cinema when I was growing up. We often to the cinema when I was growing up. Number 4. I football when I was a kid. I football when I was a kid. And finally, number 5. I terrible about my English, but now I feel great. I terrible about my English, but now I feel great. We are going to get to the answers in just a second, but before we do, I would like to remind you that if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button and subscribe. If you want to become a super subscriber to my channel, please sign up for the notifications and you will be notified whenever I release a new video. Thank you so much. And number 1, here it is. I worked in a coffee shop when I first met my girlfriend. I worked in a coffee shop when I first met my girlfriend. And number 2, here it is. I traveled through Europe for a year before I started university. I traveled through Europe for a year before I started university. And number 3, we often went to the cinema when I was growing up. We often went to the cinema when I was growing up. And number 4, I used to play football when I was a kid. I used to play football when I was a kid. And finally, we have number 5. I used to feel terrible about my English, but now I feel great. I used to feel terrible about my English, but now I feel great. I wonder how many of those you got right. Perhaps you could let me know in the comments below. Also, there is some further practice for you to do. I wonder, what were you like when you were a child? What did you used to do? I think that you could leave 3 examples of what you used to do when you were a child down in the comments section below. That is all for this week's episode of Simple English. I've been Callum Hems. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Goodbye.